A wonderful, appropriate jingle there, Mike. We're here on day 2 with Stuart Colman in Nashville, Tennessee. Today we've moved on from our location yesterday downtown at RCA Studio B. And right now we're at the very, very heart of country music, coming live from the Grand Ole Opry here at Opryland in Music City, USA. It's okay, we can open the microphones now because I have stopped singing along to the Loving Spoonful and Nashville Cats. Kind of sums things up around here. We've got a super guest coming up. He's sitting in the chair opposite me right now. And right after this, we'll be talking to a gentleman I know you love. His name's Don Everly. Don Everly, hello.
Hello, how are you, Stuart?
Just fine, fine. And I suppose, let's be honest, you're a George Jones fan too, I would imagine.
Oh, yes, I love George Jones. Yes.
Okay. You know each other as friends?
Yes, I knew him when he was in the Opry, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen him over the years.
You also got one thing in common with him too.
What's that?
When you were in the Marines, didn't you have a crew cut like George Jones?
Well, it was a little shorter. The Marine Corps, they shaved your head. They couldn't, if you could pick it up between your fingers,
okay,
it wasn't allowed.
Right, right. Now, I hear you with your family today. I met some pretty girls from the early on.
Yes.
Okay.
The family's with me.
Good, good. He's home right around here somewhere?
Yes, Nashville. I've been back in Nashville past 18 years, 19 years.
Why do you choose Nashville to live in?
It's home. I actually come to find out, I didn't really realize this. I was born in Kentucky, 90 miles north of here, in Muhlenberg County, in a little town called Brownie. And it's no longer there. The coal mines did haul it away.
Mm-hmm.
But I live on the other side of the road now. Now, Nashville, same road, passed through Brownie. Now I live on the other side.
How about that?
It's kind of weird. It's just the other side of the road, 90 miles south.
Yeah. This city has changed, though. I came here in the early 80s, and even in the last few years, it's just altered beyond belief.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I think this flight that they have to London now.
The American Airlines flight.
Yes, it's wonderful. I'm so happy about that.
That's going to be real useful for you, isn't it?
It is. It's going to be very useful.
Right, right.
Just get on the plane and get off at, their destination.
It's fantastic.
Yes.
It should have come many years ago,
I think. Well, now that it's here, let's hope it works for everybody.
It's a timing factor.
Yes.
Well, we can't go on much longer without playing one of your records. And I know George Jones did a version of this. Perhaps we can talk about it after we hear Walk Right Back.
Okay.
The same old way. Think about the love that burns within my heart for you. The good times we had before you went away. Oh, me. Walk right back to me this minute. Bring your love to me, don't send it. I'm so lonesome every day. Walked out on me. I'm so lonesome every day. I want you to know that since you walked out on me, nothing seems to be the same old way. Think about the love that burns within my heart for you. The good times we had before you went away. Oh, me. Walk right back to me this minute. Bring your love to me, don't send it. I'm so lonesome every day. I'm so lonesome every day.
Song written by a gentleman who will be coming along a little later on here at Capitol Gold, coming live from the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville, Tennessee. It's Stuart Colman, your rock and roll man, and a big #1 record, Walk Right Back, by the Everly Brothers. Don, tell us why George Jones is connected with that.
I don't have a clue.
Come on.
No, I don't, really.
Well, Sonny tells me the tale that he had him in mind when he wrote the song, but you kind of got to it first.
Well, Sonny was playing guitar with the Everly Brothers at that time.
Right.
Actually, he was a member of the Crickets, and Joe B. and J.I., rest of the group. were working with us on the road. We're Billy is the Crickets, but Sonny's a great songwriter. Had written some songs. And he was writing that, and he got drafted, actually. But he had given me what you just heard.
Mm-hmm.
And so we recorded it. He had written the rest of it when he was in Germany, evidently.
Oh, right.
But we had already recorded, our version of it.
Sure.
And so he neglected to mention anything about George Jones to me.
Well, he's going to be here a little later on. First, we can pin him down and ask him why.
Okay.
But that was one of the first outside songs that you ever cut, because at that time, if you didn't write the song, it was the Bryants who sent the song to you. There's very few people actually got songs to you apart from the regular writers.
Well, we were young, naive, and Wesley Rose was a very difficult man at the time, It was very difficult to get through to us, actually. He was our manager and our publisher and
maybe a little too close for comfort.
I think so. I think that happened to Roy Orbison, and they wound up having problems about it.
I guess if you think back, everything was happening so fast.
Yeah. Well, it was brand new. Nobody knew what it was going to do. All of a sudden, there was this thing called rock and roll, and it was all by young guys and young girls. When people in the business didn't expect it to happen. It was the kids that started buying the records.
Well, the other day, Saturday, we had the great pleasure of having a meeting with John D. Latimer, who, of course, did a lot of songs for you, spoke about you with reverence, and he's related to the Louvins, who has sort of influences upon you, would you say, the Louvin brothers?
Yeah, the Louvins and, the Delmores and the Bales brothers, York brothers, all the brother groups. I think but I tell you, the biggest influence was my father and his two brothers, because there was really the Everly brothers before us.
You were a family act, weren't you?
Yes, and our dad worked with his two brothers, so they were a trio.
Right.
And that was back in the 30s. And so Dad taught us, and we were working on radio at a very young age, and we were really mostly exposed to what our dad told us about this various things that he had heard when he was growing up. So he just passed them on to us. But when I came to Nashville, of course, Ira and Charlie were at the Opry, and they were exquisite group.
Really?
There was nobody like them. I have all their records and CDs and box sets and everything. They're exquisite group.
And you would sit at the back and enjoy the show on occasions when you weren't working as the Everly brothers. You'd be in the audience, would you?
Well, I wouldn't be in the audience, but I would be there watching the Louvins.
Okay.
Yes, because the harmonies were incredible.
Wow.
Ira was a wonderful, fantastic songwriter, too.
Magical. Yeah. Let's play a piece, if we can, on Capitol Gold, where you're on your own here. You've recorded several times on your own.
Yes.
And I love this song, Brother Jukebox.
I think it was number one by Jimmy Chestnut.
I believe so.
Yeah, recently.
How did you get the song to him?
I didn't get this song. I recorded this song back in the 70s.
Right.
On ABC Dot, I think. And I didn't get the song to him, actually. The writer, Paul Kraft, got the song to him.
Right.
Brother Jukebox, sister wine, mother freedom, father time. Since she left me by myself, you're the only family I've got left. Brother Jukebox, sister wine, mother freedom, father time. Since she left me by myself, you're the only family I've got left. I go down to this same old cafe where I try to wash my troubles away. I'm still down and I'm still all alone, but it beats staying home all night long. Brother Jukebox, sister wine, mother freedom,
Don Everly on Capitol Gold, live from Opryland here at the heart of country music. Music City, USA, Nashville, Tennessee. It's Stuart Colman, nearly forgot my own name there, and Brother Jukebox. Don, have you ever sung that live on stage?
No.
So is there no room for it in the set? You got too many tunes to put in.
Phil and I have never sang Ebony Eyes either, though, so...
Yeah, I can understand that. Well, I didn't realize until I spoke to John D., who wrote the song the other day, that the day it was released, there was a plane accident. Does that ring bells?
I don't know that at all.
In New York, I think two airliners crashed, so...
But I'm not superstitious one bit. No. The reason we don't sing it is because I don't really like doing recitations on stage.
But that was the vogue at the time, wasn't it? Remember with Elvis with
I thought
Are
that
You Lonesome
record,
Tonight?
when I looked at that record as a tragedy record, and it was one of the best songs, written well, and we also had the need of curse singers, which is something I wanted to do.
Right.
And it was a chance to use a lot of different things, use the whole paint box, so to speak. And that's why we did it.
I hear Anita lives in Geneva now. Did you know that?
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, enjoying life to the full, as you do too.
I enjoy it very much. Yes, I do.
Good. Well, looking forward to you coming back to England soon, because I know your last tour of many was one of the most favorite you ever had.
Well, it was. We were there just about a year ago. We did 7 weeks. A lot of the theaters I've been playing for decades. And it was just wonderful. The audience was great. The sound was so good. Even the catering was wonderful.
Can't be bad.
And it was wonderful. We had a wonderful time, and I really would sincerely like to thank all the people that came out to see us.
So when will we see you?
It'll be another year, I would think. But we'll be back.
Good. Well, let's play, if we can, for our ad track, a song that goes back to your youth, I think, with a Merle Travis connection here. Right. Why did you cut Muskrat when you cut Muskrat?
Well, we'd known the song for a long time. My father used to do it on radio, and so I was very familiar with it. And we were experimenting with a lot of different sounds at that time in the studio. And along with our help, people like Buddy Harman, with percussions and all kinds of other things, we tried a lot of different experiments in the studio.
Right.
And Muskrat was one of those experiments that wound up coming out as a single. I don't think it really made it, because it wasn't sometimes what people expect from us, but you can't keep doing what people expect. You must do what your heart tells you to.
Oh, well, it caught our attention at the time, especially that cowbell. I just cannot think who would have been playing that cowbell at that point.
I think he's sitting right here.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Buddy Harman, welcome to Capitol Gold. How are you doing?
Fine, how you doing?
Just fine. Do you recall that session that we were referring to?
Yes, I do. I recall just about every session I did with Don and Phil, which was everything they did in Nashville, I believe.
Well, that's fantastic, because you must have 1,010,000 sessions in your back pocket. To remember all those is pretty good going.
Over 18,000 sessions.
Is that what it is? Do you log them? I think you've got sort of charts at home and stuff.
Oh, yeah. I've got a date books. I counted them one time and came up with over 18,000.
Right. Well, we enjoyed our show yesterday at RCA Studio B, and of course you guys worked together there on most of those early records, didn't you?
Yes.
Quite a few of them. Some of them at the old Foster studio, right?
The very first ones were. But Buddy's, the quality of records that were coming out then, which was extraordinary.
Stunning.
It was wonderful.
Yeah.
It was a kind of a golden age of recording. The stereo had just come in. And the sound was just wonderful.
You guys were talking, as you said, about Cathy's Clown. Now that has a very pronounced drum pattern to it.
Yes.
Yeah. Which I believe has something with the Printer's Alley connection. What am I getting at there, buddy? You playing behind the vaudeville acts and things?
Behind the striptease.
Well, I didn't want to say the word.
Well, you should hear some of the other stuff that we've done.
Why?
Actually, they're releasing a box set. Not Warner's, but Rhino is. A lot of box set with a lot of things that haven't seen the light of day in 25 or 30 years.
I just got the Bear Records box set.
Yeah.
Is that the same thing?
No, it was another one coming out in October. I just listened to some of the things.
So, Buddy, what do you think when you hear your patterns from those days, which obviously are quite different to how you play now?
Well, I still play pretty much the same, but they won't. I've just always been grateful to Don and Phil for never changing the beat on that record, because we changed a lot of them as we went.
Right.
But I get a lot of comments on that drum lick.
Well, let's go back to Cowbell City here, because that's what we want to play on Muskrat. But this is the Everly Brothers one more time on Capitol Gold.
So slick. I've been living in the water all my life. It's a wonder I ain't sick. I ain't sick. I ain't sick. I ain't sick. Groundhog I've been living in the ground all of my life. It's a wonder I'm around, I'm around, I'm around, I'm around. Jaybird, jaybird, what makes you fly so high? I've been eating these acorns all my life. It's a wonder I don't die, I don't die, I don't die, I don't die.
With Buddy Harman there, and of course the rest of the guys on Muskrat. You recall this session now, guys? Did it all come flooding back?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah. We did make that cowbell very pronounced. Somehow I like that way that it just sort of took over in the middle of the record.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
That was some of the things we were always playing with experimenting with different things.
Does that get included in the set too sometimes? Do you sometimes do that?
No, we're not doing that either. Actually, we do pretty much what they request.
Right.
We pick out the ones that've been requested over the years.
Mm-hmm.
The most requests. We do those.
Yeah, sure. You
can't
get away from it.
No, I don't think it's fair for them to get dressed up, come down to a theater, not sing the song that they expect you to.
That's a very good attitude, very healthy attitude. Buddy, you busy too? You still working, playing drums as much as ever?
Yeah, I'm playing the Grand Ole Opry, as a matter of fact, staff drummer.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
All right. You must have done that show a few times too.
Yeah, I did a few times back in the late 50s, and I'm regular now, staff drummer every week.
Now, you've kept a note of those 18,000 sessions. Have you kept the drum kit from that particular period?
No, I have not. I had several drum kits during that time, but I don't have any of them anymore.
Don't tell me the Hard Rock Cathy owns it or something like that. They bought it from you.
No, I'd give them away to my sons or different people who just... and I get some more,
Okay.
Sign with another company.
Oh, they play drums too?
I got a couple that do.
Good, good. Well, thanks for taking time out and coming and seeing us. It's
glad to be here.
Meet you.
I appreciate it.
And Don, you're always welcome at Capital
Thank you
Golf.
so much.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
This is Stuart Colman at Capital Golf, 1548 AM.